Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a video of, this is on Abstract Gaming channel. On this channel, I'm going to be talking about something a little bit more different today regarding the, what my history of gaming and what was one of my favorite Need for Speed games to come out in history. And here's the thing. So the first game I've ever had when I first bought my Xbox 360 was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010. Now, there's several things that I've really enjoyed about that game. Number one that really stood me out is the great sounding cars. Every single car sound exactly what they should sound like. And that's the best. I mean, some cars sound better than others. But yes, that was the only thing that I really liked. The best sounding cars, the great graphics. Of course, the graphics were a little bit downgraded, but it's just 360 graphics, so it's always going to be not that very good. But there's dynamic weather, there's dynamic weathering in the game itself. You can go to a map that's either rainy or just wet with no rain, or you can go to a thunderstorm in the middle of the rain, and the lightning looks pretty realistic as it can be. Unfortunately, there's no lightning strikes, but anyways, that game was probably the best for really good reasons. As I mentioned, two good reasons is obviously the best handling cars. They handled the games. The cars have handled pretty well. The cars sounded really good. I mean, awesome. Now, this game has, according to what the Wikipedia said, this game has basically broke a lot of records in the past, and it was probably the best at E3. And it just broke a lot of records, and I think that E3, and this includes that, this is a message for Need for Speed. They did a great job on the game when it was first released. I still remember the good times, I still have it. Now, it is eventually going to hopefully be compatible for the backwards compatibility on Xbox One. Sorry about that. And hopefully it'll do that, and I'd love to play that game again, but that's what I love. That game was awesome. Now, there's absolutely no complaints about this game right now. I mean, it's an old game. It was released in 2010. And actually, if I remember correctly, that's when I got my first Xbox 360 in 2010. Of course, I didn't own an original Xbox or anything fancy like that, but I did own an Xbox 360, which I wasn't too far away from the first Xbox to be released. Then I got an Xbox One after that, about 4 or 5 years later. Now, they are, I'm speechless right now. The game is just too good to talk about, but when it comes, now this is what all Need for Speed games should really be. The best sounding cars is the great aspect, and I wish that future, when Need for Speed Rivals came out in 2013, 2 years ago, and all those great games in the past and in the future. This is with the best sounding cars, this is what Need for Speed games should be all about. And unfortunately, that's not the case because Need for Speed has gone a little bit downhill on the performance tuning in the sounds of the cars as they're driving, as you are driving them, rather. I mean, the Need for Speed Rivals was a good game. It had really good rain effects, and it's obviously the best game I've ever had, but it just doesn't compare to what Need for Speed Hot Pursuit and what the cars sound like, really. This game is my childhood. My childhood of gaming. This is what really got interested in. Believe it or not, it was actually my Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010 was my very first game that I had when I got my Xbox 360. Then I got GTA 4 after that, I do believe. And that's pretty much it and all that. I'm pretty sure that everybody out there owns Need for Speed Hot Pursuit and also that. Now, I forgot to mention one more thing. Before I end the video, there's actually another game that came out a year later that was in 2011 called Need for Speed The Run. Now, I did buy this game. I thought it was pretty cool. It's not the best but it's good. And one thing that really caught my eye really good about that game is that you can actually travel through different destinations. So it's kind of like an open road driving game, except you're going through, it's like divided up into sections because the hardware back then wasn't really good as the Xbox One's hardware, which is today. That's something that's really what caught my eyes. The cars were good. There wasn't very many cars out there, not as much as Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010, but there was a decent amount of cars. I do believe there was a Lamborghini Aventador, there was a Porsche 918 Spider, a Porsche GT3 RS7 4.0. That's probably my favorite Porsche as well, and that's really awesome. And so basically what the storyline on that one is, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit didn't really have a storyline, but I believe that, except, Need for Speed The Run had a storyline. So what the storyline is, for those of you that did not know, the Need for Speed The Run took place where this guy named Jack, and I don't remember what the other actress's name is, I can't recall the name, but him or her were, he was in this predicament where he was in, I believe, whatever that state was. He was in California. He was in a Porsche, and he was about to get crushed by these mob people. And then eventually, you basically done, I think, the very first mission where you had to go into an Audi, and you had to escape from the mob. And that's how the storyline ended. Now, the storyline ended where Jack actually went to Manhattan, and that girl told him that they won't bother him anymore. This mob will not bother them anymore once he gets to Manhattan. So you have to do these individually tasks. Some of them are time trials. You have to go in and you have to get the top 50, at least. So you have to get on the top 50 in order to get to Manhattan. And there's just several good destinations I really like. I think my very favorite one back then was the farmland. I think that was in Beaver Valley, Pennsylvania one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. But yeah, that was my favorite because you're going through a lot of country roads. And it just reminds me very much of where I go up to Somerset, Pennsylvania every other summer. It reminds me very of that. Now, there's also one where you go through an avalanche on the Colorado's mountains. You got to go through those. It was quite hard because you actually have avalanches that come in front of your car, and you got to avoid them. And I messed up a couple of times, but I finally got through the mission. That was my favorite one as well, because you're going through a lot of avalanches. Now, the roads were a bit slippery, so you got to make sure that you have a good vehicle that's at least all-wheel drive. The Lamborghini Aventador will be a perfect example for this, because it's all-wheel drive, and it's perfect, best handling car for the snow. I'm sorry. Yeah, that car was the best for that mission, for all I know, and that's really cool. Now, it gets hard because, the roads, as you're progressing through the career, the roads get more icier, and they get very slick, and you eventually, sometimes what you will do is you either fall off at the edge of a mountain, or you die, and you have to restart the mission. But that was pretty cool, and that was probably my best. Well, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. I don't really do normally a lot of videos like this, but I just want to get this over for tonight. And thanks for watching, and expect more videos tomorrow. I'll have a couple more videos I'll be uploading of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. So please be sure to, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, I'm sorry. Need for Speed 2015. So make sure you stay tuned for those videos, and thanks for watching, guys.